Animaniacs 2020, Season 2, Episode 1. Okay.
I'm gonna take a nap and you go ahead and rant. Because I
Yeah,
know that's what you want to do.
like little shots at politicians. As always, to say Animaniacs is never, no, they never took a shot at politicians. That's not in any way true. Like, no, they've always taken little shots. But my goodness, did they just spend an entire
That's
segment just going off about Trump? Like, and it's
this
not
been
even original stuff. It's just rehashing what the jokes you've heard 10 million times. Like, one thing was,
yeah.
even if it was, I think, okay, so first off, Animaniacs, do little shots if you want to. Little bit, that's fine. And it's fun. You can be funny that way. But when you sit here and belabor it, and you don't even come up with anything original, like, you came up with a song for it, but it's just filled with rehashed Trump jokes from from he's had forever. Oh, tiny hands, all this stuff. I don't remember that was even part of it. It's like, okay, I had a
Yeah,
problem
well,
with you just like you spent an entire episode, like an entire segment of an episode, just Trump bashing. It's like,
I do
but
love the.
they
I do.
did add you into it. They put a character in there, and that made me think of you.
Actually.
Technically,
oh,
that's not how it works.
it's like,
I did love the one line that was like, wait, are we still talking about whatever the
Nero.
emperor's
Nero.
name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
see, that's the
Nero.
thing. You even forgot who they were supposed to be talking about because it was so obvious it was about Trump. Like,
Yeah,
if it's so paper thin, like it's paper that's been rubbed with the greasy, the greasy burger to the point that it's transparent. like, this is some like if I saw this sort of stuff on SNL, like I wouldn't be that surprised. That's their thing. Politics is their thing. They're they're also very timely. Like they make it that week. They may write it up to that point, but they've got adjustments up until the point that they actually do the show. So they can be timely and a little more fresh with it. It makes you have an animation time, lag time. Okay, keep your jokes short. That way, if you want to change them, or you want to, when a joke's getting really tired by the time you actually get there, you know, you can change it or
Yeah.
keep it so timeless that it's,
yeah,
it works anyway. Like, if you want to make fun of Trump, I'm not gonna mad. I'm not even slightly mad at you. like, that's not what I'm mad about. I'm not mad, but what I'm irritated about. It's like you spent an entire episode just Trump bashing. It's like yes, yeah. Again, Animaniacs, you've done you take political shots here and there, and that's fine. But they've done that forever. But kind of stick to that because this was painful to watch. It's just lazy, regurgitated same jokes we've heard, just put in a blender and with a Roman coat of paint over it. It's like this was mean. This is mean spirited. It wasn't. It wasn't a fun comedic romp. It was. This is just. We hate him. We will talk about him because we want to talk about him. It's like, okay, writers, maybe you put your politics, to the back burner, and then you take little shots here and there. That's fine. You know, You take little shots, here and there. That's fine. That works. This is just somebody lives rent free in your head. Like he lives in your head. Like I understand not liking him, but good grief. And yeah, like I don't want to belabor this to this point too much, but holy smokes. Like I don't have a lot to say cuz that those on that that kind of encapsulate what I've said a couple times now is it kind of encapsulates what was wrong with that. Like good grief. Like the American Gladiators was fun. That was funny. Like and some of the jokes do work. Like when they're not bashing Trump for like 10 seconds, the jokes work. Like the whole DMCA thing. Oh yeah, we're that's funny. That's funny. The American Gladiators is funny. The John Cena bit was weird. That was awkward.
Yeah,
And
I'm kind of
not
surprised they didn't go with a different approach where John Cena was like invisible.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I would have gone with because
yeah,
that's the old meme.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
In
joke.
fact, there's a meme there's a meme out there where there's this girl who as she takes off her top, like she's wearing this oversized shirt and as she takes it off, she disappears and it's like when you're dating John Cena's daughter.
uh, but yeah, it was really
Cringe.
awkward. Yeah, it was awkward
It
and
it
cringy.
it was okay. I am all for Trump bashing, but that was cringe, straight up.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like it wasn't original. It was just like let's just actually recycle the jokes, just all the jokes. Tiny hands. It's like okay, we've heard that joke 10,000 times. Come up with something original. His hair, haha, his hair. They've been making that joke since before he was running for president. Like
Yeah.
that joke it is so old. It probably was old enough to vote for him. um, but yeah, it's just like, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do historical figures,
Also, Nero is not the one to use if you're like, it's just, like, they, I've noticed in this new series, they go to Rome for like everything. They use like ancient Greco Roman for like everything. It's Greco Roman Trump bashing 90% of their stuff.
well, and see, they did now what they could have done differently. They could have done Nero. Nero would have been fine. It may be a little Greek and Roman focus, but it would have been fine if they'd stuck to Nero.
Yeah.
And then they'd made a joke about Trump and then cut to Trump going, what? Or something like that. Or,
Mm.
cut to a comparison of Trump as a little, throwing a little dagger. That's fine. That would have actually worked. But good grief. Yeah, it's just like, ah. Like, you can do better, guys. You've written a lot better than this. Like I watched right before this call began. I watched the I am the very model of a modern cartoon individual.
Mm-hmm.
Where the first time they did modern Major General. They did a send up of modern Major General, and it's so much better. Like it's unbelievable how much better it is with this. Like the the writing's tighter, it's funnier, it's faster paced, and it doesn't require you to have any political knowledge or anything. It's just, oh yeah, here's a really fun song about being a cartoon individual. It's very meta, but it's funny. And this is just, oh, but yeah, you can do better, Animaniacs writers. I hope what I hope happened was they got it all out of their system here. It's like, okay, you've done your Trump bashing for the season. Maybe you'll go. You went hard into the Trump bashing for this season, right here. Why don't we back off and lay off it for the rest of the season? It's like, because you can do better than this.
Like, at least give it a rest.
Yeah, I'm not saying yeah.
If you're gonna, I'm not saying don't Trump bash at all,
Right.
because but
Yeah, just give it a
don't. You're
rest.
overdoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I believe any politician is fair game.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, and again, like I said,
exactly.
they've always when they were on the air, they originally they'd take little snipes, but it was always you know cutaways and throwing a little quick sly
Exactly.
thing, and it was
Exactly. So easy.
and they didn't bog themselves down. That's the big thing. They didn't bog themselves down in this thing. It was, okay, we're gonna have a little bit of fun over here, and then we'll come back. And if you sit there and just you know make that your whole episode, you stop doing what you stop being creative. Like, this is not a very creative episode. Like,
No.
it's just recycled Trump jokes. It's like,
Yeah.
you could have come up with, yeah, if you wanted to have a Nero episode and it be like the Sistine Chapel episode, that was funny
Yeah.
in the original. If you'd had it something where you had kind of something in that vein, or something of that nature, where you could have Nero doing his thing, and then you do a cutaway gag or something to Trump. Okay, you can take that little shot, and that's fine because it doesn't bog you down. You get what you wanted to say out there, but you don't bog yourself down and cut into your own originality. Because
Less is more.
yeah, it's you're writing you're putting other people's jokes and jokes that have been around way too long to be recycling them. This was really lazy.
Yeah.
Compared to what I expect of these writers and what I know these writers are capable of.
And I mean, I'm fine with a bit of Trump bashing. They have an entire series, web series, that's Trump bashing.
Yeah,
I
and
forget
if that's what
called,
you're walking into, expecting that, okay.
exactly.
This
And it's like, it's specifically that, though, and it's intended as that, and I really don't want them to turn Animaniacs into that. Like,
yeah,
that's its own series. Animaniacs needs to be more diverse. Like, that's why Animaniacs used to have so many background characters.
yeah. You could, yeah, you could, yeah, you
So
could,
that they
yeah, yeah. I think
end
we've,
up just repeating themselves over and over with the same freaking joke every week.
yeah, yeah. I think the anime, like, again, if you went back to the just a little snipe here and there with it, I think you could do it more in this. You could do it more over the series, like, but don't let yourself be bogged down by him.
Yeah.
Okay, be creative on your own, because this it just felt really lazy, and I'm just gonna rehash all these jokes that have been made since 2015, some since 2000s, and I'm just gonna rehash them all, put them into a box, and say, "Here, isn't this creative?" No. uh, but if you wanted to draw comparisons and do a Nero, the way you do that is you have a actual Nero episode focusing on historical Nero, what he was like, and then you take a snipe or two at Trump.
Yeah.
You as a side away of, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like
yeah,
do stuff that Nero actually did, and then be like, huh, that sounds familiar.
yeah, you could do something like that. Just not like all the time, but if you
Yeah,
want to do that a couple times,
but
that's
with
fine.
actual parallels, don't just suddenly make it about, don't make the episode about Trump,
Don't make Nero Trump. Make Nero, and then where Nero matches up. 'Cause I'm fairly certain I don't think Nero was accused of having tiny hands.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I don't think so. Not
yeah,
as far as I remember.
yeah, not as far as I've ever heard. So keep it to
I know it's
Nero.
a while, but I did actually watch a biographics about it. So,
Yeah,
about
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
no Nero expert, but I would
me
think,
neither.
yeah, but I would think you'd never been accused of having tiny hands.
Well, I
although
mean,
I do appreciate the fact that they're getting back to the more meta stuff, like, actually,
Yeah, a little meta every once in a while is fine. And
yeah,
in fact, I'll say this much: the I'm actually guy appears in this episode enough that he's not overbearing.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
he's the kind of, if you were making a Trump bashing sort of thing, you wanted to do that. Okay? The
Yeah,
frequency with which you did the I'm actually guy is actually probably close to what you want to do with your Trump parallels thing, because yeah, that, that was kind
yeah,
of really sad to watch. Just how, anyway, I
yeah.
think we've basically we've ripped this particular portion of the episode up
No, I was gonna
substantially.
say, if anybody did accuse Nero of having small hands, they probably didn't keep their heads for long.
Yeah, well, it could have been a rumor that it's sort of pervasive, but nobody ever hears who said it. It's like, but again, I've never heard that, and it's just like, this
And
is,
also,
yeah,
Medusa definitely needs to stop objectifying people.
but
oh, Medusa.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the problem is, people always take her for granted.
I know, right? He's just a stone cold killer.
Cold killer. You see, those are the kind of jokes we need in there.
anyway, but yeah, getting on to I think we basically wrung this one out. Like,
Yeah,
there were a few bright spots where you weren't, just rehashing Trump jokes. You know, there were a few bright spots where you weren't, and you could have done a lot better, I think.
yeah.
So then, so I guess if there's nothing more on that one, we'll move on to Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky, Pinky, and the brain.
Which, breath of fresh air from the first portion. It wasn't the best Pinky and Brain episode I've ever seen, but it certainly wasn't the worst Pinky and the Brain episode. I don't even know what the worst Pinky and the Brain episode I've ever seen was. Probably on that first season, but that 2020 season. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a very sort of average Pinky and the Brain episode, which is average for Pinky and the Brain is good.
Yeah.
It's a new concept, I think. Just having sort of brain Voldemorted onto the back of Pinky. Um, yeah.
I do appreciate the making fun of the YouTube thing because my nephew loves those kind of things and they're stupid as hell.
They are.
It made me think of Annoying Orange.
Yeah, I mean, they might have had even, yeah, I don't know who they had in mind particularly when they wrote that, but it was probably just a generic, these guys are
Yeah,
annoying and they're not very creative. They
yeah,
have one concept and they just run it into the ground.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. That's pretty common for YouTubers, which is why I follow educational YouTubers.
But
Same.
yeah, you have one concept, run that into the ground. But yeah, I mean, it was.
Which only works if your name is Z Franks.
But let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a
Because you
lot.
can get that Frank.
Yeah, let's see. I was gonna say.
Hey, for the first time, Brain finally pondered what Pinky was pondering.
Unfortunately.
Oh my gosh. Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Brian? Thankfully not.
But he had that brief moment where he froze for a second. It's like, wait, am I?
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah. There's not a lot to say here because it was okay. There was, it had its funny moments, but it wasn't. It was
And
funny. It did what a Picky in the
Yeah.
Brain episode is supposed to do. It was just
It had the
good.
cute little tiny details, like when he knocked out the lights and spelled the word narf.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Pinky's dumb brain waves are more powerful than Brain's smart brain waves.
Yeah, that actually is statistically true because you could have a bunch of intelligent people together who end up acting like idiots because stupidity is contagious and sometimes fun.
Brain got GLaDOSed. They tried to make a core so stupid that it would slow down what I was doing. Essentially, it was GLaDOS. If it's Portal
Yeah.
2, it's like, yeah, so they tried to make the dumbest core so that it would actually slow down GLaDOS. And it's like, yeah. And they did get a nice a little bit of a fake out. It was with him. I forget what they did. Like there was some other way that they lost the diamond. I forget what it was, but Pinky
No,
selling.
uh,
They were faking out Pinky selling it, and it.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, see.
It was picked up by somebody.
Yeah. So
See, I didn't think Pinky sold it. When I first saw it, I thought Pinky ate it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was wondering, okay, how's Pinky gonna get in the way of this? It's like, oh, you're setting up he's going to sell it for the hot dog. It's like, nope, he found one and they used it for a puke joke. He found one that was perfectly fine and set up for a puke joke. Which one of the few times you can have one person eat something and another person gets sick from it.
Cat dog.
Not really, because I have a very weak stomach, so that happens to me a lot.
Well, one of the few
See,
times in
somebody
fiction that you see
else,
it.
yeah. Also seeing somebody else throw up makes me throw up.
Same.
Yeah, not much there. It was fun.
Which
It
is
was
funny. I eat some really nasty stuff and not get sick.
but
I used to eat poo sandwiches in school.
ugh.
That wasn't actual poo. It was Limburger cheese and peanut butter.
Alrighty then. What else?
I did it for the shock value.
Of course. The and Pinky the Brain, just a good episode. Nothing extraordinary, but good episode.
Average goodness.
Yeah, average is good for them. Like
Yes.
an average Pinky and the Brain episode is a good episode.
Pinky in the Brain is like pizza. Even when it's not great, it's still pretty good.
And then they had the sort of time filler one that was
The
like,
short, Wacko Shorts,
yeah,
which I feel that I like.
Yeah, that hit me hard.
That is. I don't really play a lot of games, but I feel that.
No, it's like you get home from a long day's work. It's like, I want to play this video game I haven't played in a while. I just have some nice time playing it before I go to bed. It's like, oh,
Oh, for me, it's like playing Pokemon Go or Pikmin. Well, on my way home or to work, and I'm like trying to get those steps in or plant my flowers, and my phone freezes up, and I'm like, fuck.
it's like
I don't want to stand here waiting for it to load. I want to go home,
It's like I don't
but
care
I
about
want to get those steps in.
I don't
know?
care about the online multiplayer update. I'm playing single player.
Exactly.
I feel him.
Yeah, that hit. That hit. So yeah, that one hit true.
okay. Anything else we want to wrap up about this episode? Because we've gone through all 3 portions.
Nope,
No.
I got nothing.
Okay.